We are often faced with this compulsion to do good. We might have given a year-end donation to a favorite charity. We might have recently been compelled to buy something we don't really want for a family friend's child's fundraiser. We might even volunteer at a place that needs us more on a random Tuesday during the year, but perhaps we came in droves only during the holidays because that is the time of year we like to reassure ourselves that, hey, we aren't bad people, right? When are we actually helping, and when are we just making ourselves feel better? This is a question I pose to myself nearly daily. As a teaching artist, I once facilitated a school program in which I was tasked with providing environment, animal, or people-themed service projects for first and second graders. For example, a typical environment-themed service project would include creating a hanging wall garden. Students would plant seeds in pots made from recycled newspaper, then take the seeds home, and I would give their teacher a repurposed shoe rack in which to replant the seeds. People loved this project. It seemed sweet and easy and useful, but more often than not, I would go to the school for a follow-up visit and see a dirty, droopy shoe rack bogged down with standing water that I knew would get thrown away by the well-intentioned yet necessarily practical teacher at the end of the school year. So, are we really teaching kids about planting and helping the environment? Or are we just creating more waste to begin with? After a conversation on this "are we actually doing useful things" topic with my boss, I was connected to Jan, a sweet, perky, and highly committed woman who works at a local no-kill cat shelter. I arranged to tour the shelter, which, upon arrival, I realized was a giant cinder block room full of smaller, sometimes windowless cinder block rooms. Jan walked me toward the first cinder block room. These are the elderly cats, who may never be adopted. But boy, are they going to love you, Jan told me. I looked into the room to find a sea of horrible and sad cats with matted down fur. One of them looked right at me. "Oh, she's taken a liking to you," said Jan. "You know, she really should have died about 4 years ago, but we've managed to keep her alive." I recognized the look on that cat's face. "Please," the cat seemed to communicate to me telepathically from inside of the windowless cinder block room. "Kill me now. It would be an act of mercy." Shaking off this slight disturbance, we moved on to the next room. "In this room," said Jan cheerfully, "are all of our cats with special ailments." She proceeded to describe them to me, ranging from diabetes to irritable bowel syndrome. I noticed the IBS cat was actually kind of cute as she glanced up at me from her curled-up towel nest on the ground. Then she stood up to reveal the horrible reality of her condition. My thoughts of adopting her halted immediately when I saw the dripping trail that she left behind. The reality of what it meant to operate a no-kill shelter was beginning to set in. The next room we visited was full of cats with feline AIDS. Yes, this is a real thing, and it's called FIV. "You wouldn't believe it," said Jan, "but some people refuse to even touch these cats for fear of contracting the disease." Jan laughed, and I laughed obligingly along with her, all the while silently wondering how I could politely manage not to touch any of the cats in the room. Now, for all of you hopefuls out there, those of you who may wish to know there is some goodness and cuteness existing in this crazy, crazy world of aging, ill, and injured homeless cats, for the last part of my tour, I did get to visit the nursery. Pam led me into a room in the back of the facility. There were several kennels that were propped with cozy, colorful blankets and adorable cat families. There were mamas with their fuzzy little litters and kitties playing with each other in their little kitty toys. "This is the nursery," Jan told me. "These kitties will be spayed and neutered, and then they'll get adopted really fast. People always want kittens." My heart was warmed slightly by this scene. The kittens truly were adorable, and to know that they would go to good, loving homes made me feel a little bit better. But this whole experience left me thinking of a bigger picture. From the bouncy, adoptable kittens to those sad, still living cats that might wish they were dead, and the IBS cat with her ashamed little face and dirty deeds. It left me thinking about that old question. When are we actually helping? Or can charity be selfish? Is there a dark side to do-goodery? When is it that enough's enough and let's let that cat just die a graceful death? Because sometimes, who are we really making feel better but ourselves? So in the aftermath of this story, I'm going to end this strange little tale by urging you to... Now, I don't know, I could really go a lot of ways here. In the aftermath of this story, I'm going to end this strange little tale by urging you to be selfish. Don't waste resources and money and time on things that maybe are best left alone in the first place. Okay, maybe that's not the right message. In the aftermath of this story, I'm going to end this strange little tale by urging you to adopt a super old cat with FIV instead of a super cute kitten, because somebody else will adopt that kitten, but nobody else will ever adopt that super old cat with FIV, and it'll die in a cinder block room somewhere. Okay, so maybe that's not the right message either. In the aftermath of this story, well, I don't really know how to end this strange little tale. So I'll just end it by saying, let's raise a glass, if you have one, to all of those cats that could not be here with us tonight, whatever that means to you, because I myself am still deciding how deeply I want or can manage to read into this experience. Cheers, everybody.